it's looking very possible that Wave Check might not be rolling out here on Orisa Hog.
I mean, this is very likely the proper move. Even though there's no guarantee it'll work, it would be better than trying to Orisa Hog their way to victory, particularly for Point A Nambani, where it's just not very effective.
So we do not have Orisa Hog here for Wave Check. They are going to be rolling out here with Dive. It's going to be a 2-2 setup with the Sombra Genji, Lucio, Ana. So they do have win conditions now. They have an EMP. They're going to have Nano Blade. And Second Wind, they've set up here in such a sentence where they have Kaden on the Pharah. They were expecting potentially a Hog, and there is a Hog set up here with having this Pharah up. Though Pharah is still very, very good with the Mercy Pocket on Numbani first anyways, due to the angles and how tough it is to poke her out.
I think for Wave Check, this is a fine composition v composition matchup. The question is, can they play with this well? Were they even intending on playing with this in this particular matchup? And
see, again, he's waiting. He's waiting for Ezar to translocate, but he's just going to move. He's going to move it away. He doesn't going to translocate it back. Now he gains putting the pressure here onto a little bit onto Frill. Frill's hunting him, fighting him on the flank. This is a position that Frill doesn't want to be in. He doesn't want to get break LOS and get hacked. He needs to be able to be healed.
You also don't want to feed the Sombra EMP, whereas D.Va, you have to be very careful and judicious. But when you fight the Sombra for that very purpose, again, right now at 55%. Ezar, though, on the other side, 76%, got low, got healed back up.
Nano available for Panic. I think Wave Check are going to look for this engage right now. They might not save for the Nano Blade, so they are 60%. Yep, there's the Nano on that man. He's looking to zone the back line.
They immediately Nano, and they get pay dirt off it. They get the on the other side. Ezar holding on to the EMP. Second Wind can definitely still re-engage here. They're still healthy. They get the Resurrection up. And now they're going to be looking to head back on in. Giving up about 33%. They're looking for that man. They finish him off. And now they can rotate back over to the point. And they might not have to use EMP, but they still use it just to be sure. They step the barrage, and they're going to be evicting Wave Check away.
Not the most value off that barrage there, but they did get the recontest. They stopped the point presence. They didn't, but they had to use the Nano and the EMP and the barrage. A lot of ults used for Second Wind, along with a lot of cap time lost. So Wave Check building that early Nano, instead of the engage, forcing Second Wind back. And this is sort of the problem with having the Pharah right now, is that if Kaden isn't getting picks, isn't getting the pressure onto Wave Check that they need, especially those tanks in particular, then the problem is that Wave Check are able to engage very easily for free right now with Halo on the Mercy. There's nothing stopping this Genji, there's nothing stopping the EMP.
Early Valkyrie going to be up here for a second. I think because they're anticipating EMP on the other side. EMP going to be coming on out. Here comes Jade. Blade out.
Blading a D.Va.
Looking for the D.Va, if anything. Delta's going to be coming on out. The sleep on the Jade saves Frill's life. What an incredible sleep. Frill gets back into mech. And Second Wind still able to defend here. Wave Check, though, doubling down. They use the barrier. They're very close to cap. Second Wind needs to keep someone on the point at all times.
Another sleep as well. They see the solo sleep on the Juby. He's going to go down. Can anyone touch, though, with the bomb, with the zone now? I don't think anyone can touch the Second Wind.
Bomb is out. Can they get back over? They do! The barrage gets down that man. And Second Wind able to hang on. Wave Check unable to finish it off at 94.6.
And you have to look at where it went wrong there for Second Wind. The blade maybe could have had some value, even though it was a solo blade onto a D.Va, but Bird with an incredible sleep onto Jade. The bomb was out, finishes him off, and now Second Wind, they've held. They're going to have EMP, they're going to have another Nano as well for Shredlock for this engage. This is last fight territory for Second Wind. They must find value here. They must find value from the EMP. They would like the EMP first here because they get caught in the choke with a Nano Vincent in their face. It's going to be very tough.
EMP opening from Second Wind. They get crack walking down immediately. Wave Check immediately rejected. Egan was trying to sneak on the other side, but only 14 seconds left. They don't have time for a full reset. They're getting staggered, and this is first hold territory.
It's possible now for Wave Check to recontest, but Panic, he's still being hunted here. He's stuck lower. Shredlock, he's playing the hack pack. There's no health. Juby's there, but he's not going to be able to touch. Wave Check are going to have to stream in. They have EMP, but can they get anything from this? And the answer is probably no.
Well, they dropped the EMP, and they're just hoping for the miracle. Down players, down in hope. Again, finding the opposite Sombra, but Second Wind in an enormously good position here. Wave Check, Spring Lord, Jade able to deal with Clara. They still need quite a bit more. Frill on the ground, Shredlock dominating space. Second Wind continuing to reject Wave Check. And that should be it. The last few people streaming on set point are dealt with, and the first point hold has arrived.
And Wave Check showing some more flexibility there. They actually had a perfectly good win condition there, and that EMP fight with the blade available. But they just couldn't find anything from the blade. They got denied by Bird. And then from there on out, they were just at a tough position to be in. They just could not finish. They could not get cap time they needed. Second wind, with Bird in particular, is getting insane value while Caden's moving around there on that Pharah. It's really been a story of flex supports, I think, throughout the day, with Crimzo earlier, now Bird in this game for second wind. Wavecheck just cannot find the value that they need.
Second wind definitely looks powered up with the addition of Bird in particular, but Caden has also been quite good as well.
He's good, yeah, he's very, very good. Very solid player.
Second wind continuing the tradition of rebuilding into a strong team every contender season. Unfortunately for second wind, they always get poached, but that's something that's good for the players in the end.
And interestingly enough, for second wind, you saw on the defense at times that Frill was playing D.Va. They've had Frill now playing DPS, but also playing D.Va. What role has Frill not played at this point between main tech, DPS, and now we're looking into a flex tank? Are we seeing another true flex player at the 4?
Well, as far as Contenders is concerned, the old Gods is dead up in Overwatch League. Frill is the new Gods, where Gods had the journeyman experience of going from role to role, and now Frill is doing the same. When you're trying to go for the full completion of competitive Overwatch, you max out one class, you go to the next.
So for second wind, off that first hold, there is almost a cap, not quite a cap for Wavecheck, a lot of ticks, so there is a win condition available for Wavecheck. They can win this map, it's very possible. And what are they on? The Orisa Hog. They're on the Orisa Hog here. They have Crack-a-Lackin' on the Pharah with Jade on the Torp. So very much this bunker setup for Wavecheck. This is more viable to run on a defense right here for Zubani than it is maybe on the offense or some of the other maps. A second winner is going to see this. They're going to go triple DPS.
And also for second win, there's almost no pressure here.
Are they not going to go triple DPS? Okay, there it is. They're pretty pro
they're swapping. They have plenty of time to go about this. They don't have to rush anything. They're not... And really, with running the Sombra setup, they can just wait for EMP in the worst case scenario, but the way they've been poking down Wavecheck, it's a lot more likely they get an early pickoff.
So that second win, slowly but surely moving in. You see Shredlock in that backline, just trying to make the point presence that second win are going to need here. Very cool happening. Crack-a-Lackin' slapped!
Once more, the flex supports making their presence known. Crack-a-Lackin' taken on down. Bad time to sleep on the job, and Frill got burst in the other side! This is so decisive!
I mean, it's over.
For second win!
It's over. There's no way Wavecheck can recontest, even though they've gone that pick. It's so tough here. Unless, again, just monstrously pops off and continues to get value.
Well, Mirage has removed on a fight. Began fighting the good fight, but taken on down. Frill with the finisher. And this is going to be an incredibly quick Numbani. Second wind again. Crushing Wavecheck.
And that's the cap. Second win, picking up the third map. The series is over. Second win, marching forward, getting the 3-0. So this is the end for the series for Wavecheck. They can still play for map score, but we talked about it earlier how losing this series now, it's making it increasingly unlikely that Wavecheck really has any chance at all of making the playoffs.
I think actually at this point, I'm pretty sure they're mathematically eliminated. I don't think you can make playoffs with 2 wins. I'm not 100% sure, but let's just say the trend is not good.
The trend
and
is
leave it at that.
The trend is definitely not.
The stocks
ideal.
are down.
Stocks going way down here, and we see here this is the critical moment for Wavecheck where they pop the EMP, they pop the blade, but Jade doesn't get anything, and the one frag he might have found gets slept by Bird and killed by Bomb.
So really, the story of the day here is that Wavecheck, if you force them off their Orisa setup or counter it outright, they look remarkably weaker than what we've seen before. And second win, continuing to just improve on their roster. They've done it again.
Second win, I mean, you really have to give props to the second win management, to the staff running. Second win, they're not really an academy team. It's sort of just a homegrown, endemic organization that we're looking at here, but very, very well done for what they've done here. I mean, especially with the pickups of Bird and Caden, it seems like they've added a lot to the roster, added some more flexibility, added some and they're just good pickups.
You know, they're not an academy team, but really,
they feed all the players to all the academy teams.
At some point, when does an academy team, an Overwatch League org, look at what Second Wind is doing and just say, we're going to absorb you? Because clearly, they've done a really good job at building talent, finding the right people, and building good teams, even as it's just a constant flood of players immediately leaving.
Have to give respect where respect is due. So we are going on to our fourth map of the series. It's going to be Havana again. And for Wave Check, the series is over, but you're still playing for map score, but more likely than not, the map score doesn't even really matter for them.
Look at that. The sleep from Bird. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, Crackalacken. And for second win, they're now playing for their hopes for playoffs. I think it's looking pretty good for them. They do have a little bit of an easier schedule now. They've already had to play Envy. They've played Triumph. So they've gone through some tough teams already, and they have 2 wins under their belt. So it's definitely possible for second win to make it into playoffs. But also what's going to be important for them, and why this final map's important for them, is map score. Map score will matter because there's a lot of teams that are actually going to be wavering on the edge at the end of the regular season here in terms of where we're looking at playoff standings.
I think the map score here, even more important the second win, just because second win, they have dropped a few series, and really, map score could be the difference between having to face Envy before grand finals and not, which is still of grand importance, because even if you don't win at all, top 2 does get you to a spot in the gauntlet.
So we're getting into Havana now. It's going to be our escort, our 4th and final map of the series. Toon Wave Check second wind. And it's looking like once again, when we look at this, second wind going to be choosing the defense first. Or I guess it'd be technically Wave Check choosing the offense, but you know, they're getting in here. Second win on this defense, Wave Check on the offense. Hoping for another first hold if they're second win, because so far that has been their sort of their operating procedure so far, is just getting a very early first hold, very early and swift win on each map versus Wave Check.
Second Wind has plans tonight. They don't want to be here anymore. They're just going, all right, we're going to end this quickly. The night is ours.
Yeah, they could be like us. It's like, let's go get some sushi.
Yeah,
you know, let's finish out the game. Let's go get some sushi.
That's our plans. We're going to have to tell the person we're meeting with, by the way, get there an hour earlier. This has been fast.
The second one playing this bunker setup here with Caden on. This Bastion just playing up here on the high ground. They already get that early pick off Frill, finding a lot of picks this series on the Widow. Finds that early pick on it again. And Wave Check with this solo take setup, it allows them to play the off angles a little bit, allows Batman to push the cart. But as I say that, he falls over, folds like a lawn chair. They're picked up there. And this is where really the problem for Wave Check comes into play, is how do you get up this hill? How do you get up this hill with one tank and you're losing the pick war?
I have a bold assertion here. I don't think Orisa is the best tank on offense for Wave Check to move forward here. There's too much shield break on the other side.
And looks like they've heated that. They've gone to the double dive take now. Crackalack onto the Diva, Matman onto the Winston. They swapped up here into a dive setup for Wave Check. Going to be looking to break the bunker. It's still going to be a problem here because they have to deal with Bird's Immortality Field. Have to deal with the pocket that Halo is going to be able to give to players. So a lot of chances to still lose someone.
Also, this is just a lot of time being burned as Wave Check decides, plans, strategizes for how to deal with this. Time keeps on moving. It stops for no one, and Sombra immediately taken down. Immortality Field, not even really necessary in the end. There just wasn't even much damage. But why not throw it down anyways?
The cart has moved up onto the very cusp of the hill, though. They have gone it that far. So there has been some cart presence for Wave Check despite it, but that's their first dive of many. They're 60% to a nano, 50% to a blade. Not at all close to an EMP. And second wind are coming up on 6 ults, and there's already 2 minutes off the clock.
2 minutes have passed here. Has anyone in Wave Check even fallen yet?
No.
Or sorry, on the second wind rather.
Second wind, no. No one on second wind I don't believe has actually lost their life yet. They've still been completely deathless.
Well, Dragon going to be coming out here from Ezire, smothering onto the payload. Wave Check dealing with it for now. And here comes the tank. Aiden moving forward, just dunks on Genji. And the mid-air shot on the Winston. Not the most difficult shot, but still flashy.
He was also nano there as well, so damage boost Bastion though does beat the nano Winston and not full HP. So there's the push gone. There's no nano available. Now, nano I think is the one ult that Wave Check are probably going to get in spades because they're going to take a lot of damage. So they will be receiving a lot of nano here.
The true upside.
Jade is 80% to the blade, but the problem here, once again, is that they're still got to push the blade into the Immortality Field. Blade, you really to get any kills is that if the Immortality Field is up, you do not kill anyone.
Oh, Wave Check still looking for a way in. Down to their final minute. Caden finds Ana midway through, and the healing for Wave Check just going to be completely obliterated. But Batman finding some pressure here. Second wind looking more vulnerable than they have all round long. Here comes Jade using the blade, looking for the Bastion. Winston diving in with them, takes down the robot. Widow res on the other side, but finally Wave Check getting a little bit of momentum.
Those picks were so important for Wave Check. They're able to move Bird, most importantly, who's the majority of the healing for this comp. Also the immortality field. Now Wave Check, they hold point. Second Wind will not be able to recontest, so it's going to be first going the way of Wave Check. So no first hold today, and they're going to have the EMP and bomb. So actually Wave Check moving forward with a lot of ults. Second Wind completely swapping their comp. No ults on the field.
So the most promising things have looked for Wave Check potentially all series long here, just being able to get through point A still with a decent amount of time. Ult advantage. Second Wind, gonna need to take some time to recover.
With Second Wind, they're gonna hold and take this fight aggressively at these doors. The second, try to move some of these ults for Wave Check, burn time off the clock. I imagine for Wave Check, they might just bomb it aggressively or just drop the EMP right off the bat, knowing that there's no ult available for Second Wind at all.
Wave Check dropping the EMP early.
Are they going to get anyone?
There. No, they get burned. They do get burned. See if Wave Check can get a little bit more. Second Wind able to disengage fairly well there. They'll probably wait for Bird before going back in, but this isn't bad given that they did the full swap and they're trying to recover. So long as they don't lose anyone here, Shredlock put a little bit out of position.
Jade goes down.
Healed up. They lose their Brigida. Second Wind can easily turn this now.
And look how low Madman is as well. Madman so criminal, gonna get caught with that fading away fire strike by Shredlock. They've lost two, pushing up, trying to get these late frags. And now Second Wind in a completely neutral fight. They brought themselves back and they'll have EMP.
This is quite bad for Wave Check. The fact that Second Wind was able to punish them for overextending means that Second Wind, they get to set up in a very defensible area here on Havana.
And here's the thing, Wave Check will have double support ult, but the problem is, EMP nade beats support ult a lot of these times. It's going to require you to invest both, even if Panic uses Transcendence.
EMP is out, and the fall through immediately.
And they the trance is way too late. The fight's already done. They lost two already.
This is real trouble for Wave Check. But don't forget, it still took them a while to get through point A. They don't have the biggest amount of time for point B. They're down to a minute. Spawn grab.
I do not think that was at all necessary. I don't think that was at all necessary from Kaden, but you know, why not? You know, it's been a pretty good series for you guys so far. You're firmly in control. There's no Transcendence on the field.
Disrespect grab is what
it is definitely a disrespect, a proving domination type of grab. Wave Check having to re-enter this point. Coming up with the bomb, with the shatter, with beat still. So they have ults to break it, but a lot of this fight is going to be determining on can Crackle-Whack's bomb put them in a position where Madman can get the shatter or even just get frags on its own.
Wave Check looking for a way through, going to be opening up with the bomb. Crackle-Whack and remecking. Of course, there's a little bit of reposition at Second Wind, but not much else. Wave Check moving over to payload. Final 20 seconds, final fight. See Bird in the back, Nano Boost ready, drops on the Shred. Shred just gonna move forward off of that, forces the beat out of Wave Check. And here comes a shatter!
Fast shatter!
Big, hits 3. Still Nano gets the fall through, and Wave Check likely going to be stopped here on point B Havana. Second Wind in a really good spot. They drop the EMP barrier. That's gonna be all she wrote here for the second point. Wave Check, best opportunity for them now would be a first point hold, but that seems unlikely.
And you want to talk about disparity in team strength there? A team with 0 ults on the field, bad positioning, running into another team that is pushing aggressively off that fight win, have ults up, have their position, and still get the picks and win that recontest. That a completely ult neutral fight win. That is a disparity in team strength, realistically. In Wave Check, they've moved off the Orisa Hog, but it's very clear now that even off of it, it's tough for them to compete with the likes of Second Wind.
And again, I do empathize with their decision where they're probably only at a Contenders level on Orisa Hog setups right now. But the issue is that, okay, they have more success if they move off of it, but it's still something that's very favored for Second Wind. Because now you're running a comp that's more within the lines of what Second Wind is good against normally, and it's something that you're not very good at. So I just don't think it's been ideal for Wave Check in any way, and I think that's why right now you look at their defense coming out, they're going to be heading out with Orisa Hog once more in all likelihood, but I don't think Second Wind's going to have any trouble dealing with it.
If there is a map to pull out the bunker in this Orisa Hog strategy, or at least the Orisa bunker strategy, it is Havana first, because of this sightline, this initial push right here. And Wave Check, they do have shown some proficiency on it, but Second Wind have also shown plenty of proficiency in breaking it.
So they're not running the Hog with this.
They're not, but I also don't think the Hog is, because of how long these sightlines are, the Hog is, it's tough to find the value initially because of this push. I think the Torb and the Hanzo make a lot of sense here because of how long these site lives are right now. You can definitely find halt hook combos, but not more consistently until they get closer.
I think ideally for Wave Check here, they would need to get a pick off on the Kaden or Frill just to give the Shield a little bit of time. Second win for now, not having any real issues pushing up. Well, that's the first issue. Jay, finding Kaden on the other side, Resurrection going to be coming on in. Still in a resable spot, but there's going to need to be more of that from Wave Check. They won't have any hope here.
You see Frill has been set up on the flank now. They're just spamming Shield repeatedly. They're forcing Matman to rotate. They've already moved Wavecheck off the high ground. Wavecheck have already had to give up this high ground now because of where the cart presence is. They haven't been able to contest the cart at all. The nade comes out. Jade is down. Look how low Wavecheck is.
That was a nice setup between Shredlock and the DPS in the back. Just rolled in, set him up.
And it was also off of Bird as well.
Yeah.
Bird hits a nice nade as well, catching him on the rotation. And already the hold has been broken. It's almost impossible for Wavecheck to effectively recontest, especially losing again late.
And this is the least
Look at the
dramatic
chase.
first point cap I think I've seen on Havana. They're
Look
just
at
going
this
to
chase
roll
there
it
as
in.
well. This chase is going to be so brutal as well. They have Shredlock on the Hammond to lock them in place so Frill and Izar can look for frags. They're so close to the doors right now, but they're not set up in any position.
Shredlock going to fall, but this time, it's so good for second win. They even get the res off. Wave Check, desperately looking for anything to turn it around, but second win, they're just doing whatever they want. Move in, Nano Farah, in over the top, looking for Higan. Barrage ready, drops it on the Orisa to the back. Is Kaden gonna live? Kaden barrages and lives to fight another day.
Now he's gonna be chasing out Crackalack, and Crackalack is so hurt, has to translocate out. Jade is pretty much the person that is the glue keeping Wavecheck in this fight right now, but is picked off by Kaden in the end. Second win, they fully own the point. They have EMP, they have Mines, they have Valk. It's gonna have to be a hero performance for Wavecheck to stop it with 4.5 minutes on the clock to just a very, very short cap. And Panic,
Wait.
he's so deep, he's there.
They're stuck back there? Oh, that is not what you want to have happen. What a way to go down. Wave Check destroyed on Havana.
And that is its series. It's over.
That's goodbye.
It's done. It's done. We can officially call it. There's no way that Wavecheck will be finishing up there. And that is going to be the 4-0 for second win as they drift in at a nice 4-minute cap time there for second win.
I mean, a certain Widow streamer might have some responses to that after a game.
They very well could have. There's some distinctive phrases, catchphrases even. And second win, I mean, realistically, we look at this setup and it just was never close. It just wasn't. There was no parity at all between the two.
We kind of ranged from losing badly to unironic devastation. We kind of stuck within that range the entire time.
Wavecheck just couldn't use any of their strengths that they had. I mean, their one defining characteristic for the squad so far this season, Contenders, has been the Orisa Hog setups. And when you're losing the mirror matchup there, then it's sort of all downhill when you have the caliber of players that Second Wind has, and they just couldn't find anything else from there. And realistically, it just comes down to they just did not have the flexibility needed. They didn't have the playmaking necessary when compared to a squad like Second Wind, and their sort of, I guess, characteristic composition was completely defeated.
And look, right now, the meta for Overwatch, we've gone beyond the era where you can just run goats all the time and be fine. You have to be familiar with multiple different styles, and you can't just stick with one, because if the other team's able to deal with it while still playing multiple styles of their own, probably going to lose. But that is it. Second Wind on the rebound. Wave Check, very likely eliminated now. If not, they're going to require some real miracle scenarios otherwise. But guys, we still got 2 more matches left here today. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, 2 more left to go.